Fade in. Interior Amy's bedroom morning. Amy stands in front of her mirror. She's 22, cute, black. She seems confident, yet seemingly uncomfortable. She has on a bathrobe and looks at herself in the mirror. Her room is small but nice. It's covered in posters of movies, comics, and TV shows. It's also extremely messy. Amy pulls out a hairpick and starts combing through her fro. After a moment, she starts combing wildly. Nothing seems to be changing. She goes at it vigorously, then finally stops and frowns in the mirror. Interior coffee shop morning. Amy sits at a table. She now wears a casual but nice outfit, jeans, tucked in, t-shirt, sweater. She looks put together, but a tad awkward. A lightning bolt necklace hangs around her neck. Her hair is now tucked inside a beanie. She taps her foot nervously. Next to her on the table is an empty cup of tea and a copy of Beloved, with a rose sticking out of it. She stares out the window. The coffee shop is about halfway full. It's modern, yet old-fashioned at the same time. There is exposed brick, which has been painted over in white, hanging plants strategically placed above each table, and huge windows. It's clear that this is a very nice place in a not-so-nice part of town. Every person in the coffee shop seems to be under 30, and all wearing the same type of clothes: jean jackets, combat boots, and beanies. All of them are plugged in. James, 24, Caucasian, classic hipster, walks through the door. He has on a "The Future is Female" shirt, skinny jeans, a flannel, and a jean jacket. The jacket is covered with buttons, all of which have to do with different causes, i.e. Black Lives Matter. He looks around the coffee shop for a moment, then spies Amy's book with the roses in it. He walks over to her.
Amy?
Amy looks up and smiles.
Hi, James.
That's me.
They shake hands.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
He sits and points at her necklace.
Is that Harry Potter?
Amy looks down.
No, the Flash, actually.
The Flash?
Yeah, he's a superhero.
Oh, okay. I don't really get into all that Marvel stuff, you know.
Right.
She looks slightly disappointed. Interior bar evening. It's a classic sports bar. On the ceiling are a bunch of screens. Across from the bar are a bunch of arcade games, and in the corner sits a pool table. There are a few groups. The dress code here is a bit different. Lots of leather and bomber jackets. Amy sits at the bar. She's slightly dressed up and wears the lightning bolt necklace again. She sits swirling a mojito. Next to her on the bar is a rose, this time tucked into a copy of The Blind Side. In walks Tony, who's about 25. He has a khaki bomber jacket. He's attractive and knows it. When he sees the rose, he walks over to her and leans against the bar.
Hey.
Amy looks up.
Hi.
He smiles at her and slides onto the bar stool next to her.
See, you already got a drink.
Yeah, I got here pretty early.
Well, I don't want to be too far behind you.
Tony turns to the bartender.
Pilsner?
Amy watches him, obviously smitten. Tony turns back and points at her necklace.
You're a Harry Potter fan.
Flash fan, actually.
Tony looks at her with a blank expression.
He's a superhero.
Oh, yeah, my brother is really into that stuff.
The bartender sets down his drink. Tony nods at them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
I mean, he's 13, so...
Tony
Let's get a booth.
Interior restaurant evening. Amy sits at a table. She has on a black dress and still has on the necklace. It's an exceptionally nice restaurant, clearly expensive. Amy browses the menu. Sitting on the table is a rose, this time tucked into a copy of The Great Gatsby. Across from Amy sits Thomas. He's a tall African-American man. He's wearing a suit. Think Jamie, she's gotta have it. He points at the necklace.
Nice, Harry Potter.
It's the Flash, actually.
Like the Queen song.
No, like the comic.
There's a pause.
Well, you look beautiful tonight.
Oh, stop.
So remind me what you do.
Begin intercutting. Interior coffee shop morning. Amy claps her hands in front of her.
I work in radio.
Interior bar night. They walk towards a booth.
Really?
Yeah, I'm an intern at WNYC.
Interior restaurant night. Thomas pours wine into a glass.
I bet that's fun.
Yeah, I enjoy it. How about you? What do you do?
Interior coffee shop morning. James leans back.
I am a graphic social justice artist.
I have no idea what that means.
Oh, I make art that comments on the social and political climate.
Ah,
I'm gonna get a drink. Do you want anything?
Amy shakes her head. Interior bar night. Tony sits down with his drink.
I mean, I wanted to be a professional baseball player, but what can you do?
what happened?
Tore my ACL.
Amy winces. Tony sees the look on her face and shakes his head.
It's okay though. I coach kids now.
Oh, sweet.
Interior restaurant night. Thomas unfolds his napkin.
I'm a lawyer.
Nice.
Yeah, well, we don't need any more false accusations in our community, if you know what I mean.
He gestures at the both of them. Amy nods and sips her drink. End intercutting. Interior coffee shop morning. James has a cup of coffee in front of him now.
I don't know about you, but I haven't been on a blind date in a while.
This is actually my first blind date ever.
Really? Oh. Am I a decent first blind date?
So far.
Interior bar night. Tony and Amy now have chips in front of them.
So what got you into the blind dating game?
Regular dates didn't show, but they weren't worth it. Plus, I like the idea of the books and the roses.
It's dorky, but yeah.
Well, why this book?
Interior restaurant night. Amy holds up the copy of The Great Gatsby.
I like debating it.
You like debating it? Like if Daisy deserved Gatsby?
No, like if we should still be studying it at all.
You don't think we should? I mean, it's a classic.
Right, but according to who?
I don't know. Everyone?
White scholars and white professors.
Oh,
Interior coffee shop morning. James points at the copy of Beloved on the table.
Have you read it?
once in high school, yeah.
James perks up in his seat.
What did you think?
It was fine. I just wasn't really a fan. How about you?
It's my favorite book.
Interior bar night. Tony takes a swig of his beer.
I don't really like read books, but I like the movie. You seen it?
The Blind Side? Yeah, it's okay.
You didn't like it?
No, I mean, it's been a while, but I remember it being meh.
Huh. You didn't like The Blind Side.
Interior restaurant night. Amy looks slightly frustrated. Thomas looks annoyed.
It's a good book, though. You can't deny that.
But you've been conditioned to think that.
No, I just enjoyed the book. Look, agree to disagree?
Thomas puts
Look,
his hand.
I wrote a book back in my Princeton days, and I used the money to tour the country and give lectures about the way Black and brown people have been conditioned to like art created by white people, and how studying these works is a form of oppression.
Amy takes a sip of water and looks uncomfortable. Interior coffee shop morning. James leans towards Amy curiously.
So tell me why you didn't like Beloved.
I don't know. I guess it was just sort of boring to me.
As she's speaking, James pulls a small notepad and pencil out of his bag and starts writing down what she's saying.
I was just confused and sorry. Are you writing down what I'm saying?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't preface.
No, it's fine, I guess.
He looks at her expectantly.
Sorry, why are you writing down what I say?
Oh, well, you see, all of my pieces are centered around the Black experience.
Oh, God.
So as an ally, an ambassador of privilege, right? When I meet a person of color, I always like to write down what they think so I can better understand how to break down the racial barriers.
There's a pause. James watches Amy as she processes this.
Cool. So, like, what's your favorite type of scone?
Interior bar night. Tony leans into Amy.
Let me guess. You didn't like The Blind Side because of the message it sent.
Message? The movie's all fluff.
It's an impactful story, but I bet it didn't make the mark for you.
What mark?
Interior restaurant night. Thomas seems worked up. Amy is confused.
Gatsby is a form of oppression because a white guy wrote it?
Yes.
So when I say that I like it, that opinion is forced on me.
Yes.
Well, that's bullshit.
Excuse me?
You're saying that every book I like, written by a white person, is a book I was trained to like? That's crazy.
This is what I do, Amy.
Look, I like the things that I like. It doesn't matter who wrote them.
But it should.
Why?
Well, maybe that's something you should ask yourself. You're hardly
Amy-
black anyway.
Amy looks taken aback and hurt. Interior coffee shop morning. James continues the conversation.
Look, it'll make more sense if you look at my art. Each one of my digital pieces is a representation of a different social movement. Here. This is my depiction of life as a black person in America right now. I based it on Beloved and conversations I've had with actual black people.
He shows Amy a digital collage with images of Martin Luther King, pussy hats, and in the center is Oscar the Grouch. He looks proud. Amy stifles a laugh.
This is Beloved?
Interior bar night. Tony leans into the conversation.
If you didn't like it, then it's probably because you got offended by it.
No. Why would I?
I mean, it's obvious. People like you get offended at everything. I mean, I can't even make a fucking joke to you people.
Amy looks hurt.
See, like that. I'm not a fucking racist.
He buries his head in his hands. Amy watches him holding back tears. When he finally looks up at her, he gets annoyed again.
Can't there just be a normal one?
Amy looks down and then gets up.
Where are you going?
I just think it's best if I go.
Great. And just like that, it's done.
Amy watches him for a moment before she leaves. Interior restaurant night. Thomas and Amy are whisper shouting at each other as to not attract attention.
Face it, you grew up surrounded by white people. You don't live the life of a black person.
Says the guy who's about to drop over $100 on a blind date.
Oh, come on.
This is an expensive place.
Well, I'm sorry, I have expensive taste.
As if you don't live in the white world. You left the black one the minute you got rich.
James stares at the table. Amy looks surprised at herself.
Maybe we should start over.
What's the point?
I want to get to know you, Amy.
I don't want to get to know someone who tells me I'm brainwashed and not actually black.
She drops a 20 on the table.
That's for the tip.
She gets up and leaves. Interior coffee shop morning. Amy looks extremely amused. James is scrolling through his phone, showing her his digital collages.
Oh, I call this one Somewhere Over Sepia. It's this representation of the black experience in Hollywood.
Yeah, you can definitely see that.
I mean, you must have had it so hard growing up. Am I right?
Amy looks down, trying not to laugh.
Oh, shoot. I need to run, but, oh, sorry. Oh, shoot. I need to run, but hey, this was really fun.
James looks slightly disappointed.
Oh, okay. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I have a meeting I have a meeting I have to go to. We make abstract watercolors based on the writings of MLK and Malcolm X.
He nods knowingly.
Let's get together again?
Uh-huh.
She smiles, then grabs her bag and hurries out. She glances back to see James taking an Instagram photo with his coffee. She chuckles, rolls her eyes, and then opens the door. Exterior street night. Amy stands outside. She takes a deep breath and then walks off screen.